In this video, I'm going to show off my childhood Commodore 64 that I got Christmas in 1983. We're now in 2021 and I still own the machine and it still works. Sit back, relax, and let's get right to it. I started working with computers in the late 1970s when I was in elementary school. We had Apple II Plus and Apple IIe computers back then, and they were pretty awesome. We did things with Logo, other programming languages, Oregon Trail, just all the stuff now that's considered retro and nostalgia, but back then that was just what we did. And I always wanted to get my own computer, but Apples were very expensive then, and of course modern Apple computers today in 2021 are very expensive as well. But my grandparents, seeing that I had a really good fascination with computers and technology, bought me this Commodore 64 computer for Christmas that I got in 1983. And once again, we're in 2021 and I still own the machine and it still works. And until recently, I had it hooked up and doing things with it, but I picked up a Commodore Elite 64, which is a modern version of the Commodore 64, and I'll do a video about that at a later time. But I will put a link in the description to the Ultimate 64 so you can learn more about it if you don't already know. So getting back to my Commodore 64 here, in this video I'm going to basically unbox it and show you everything that's in there. And it's all original from when I got it back in '83. And what's really cool is I've got some photos from back then. I actually have a photo of me opening it on Christmas morning 1983. That's me right there, wearing a blue polo, jeans, black and white checkered Vans slip-on shoes. You can see my grandfather in the back. But yeah, you see me holding up the Commodore 64. And then off to the left, you can see the data set. When I first got this machine, no disk drive. But I got the Commodore 64, which was awesome. And here is a picture of that. This is like an old Polaroid style photo from 1983. I have another picture of me. I think this is in 1984. That's me with my Commodore 64 and my VIC 1541 drive. The picture there looks like I have a mullet, but I don't have a mullet. That's basically a shadow on the wall. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, that's not my hair, that's a shadow. But look at that. Polo shirt and some educational software. So that's pretty cool that I have that photo from my childhood. Got another photo here. This also I think is 1984 or 1985. And why I think that is on the back wall in the bedroom there is a LA Games 1984, and that was for the Olympics. Here you can see my Commodore 64 computer, my printer, which is a 1526. I still have that printer. The Sears monitor off to the right there. I don't have that original monitor anymore, but a few years back I found one, and that'll be another video to talk about that. But something you should notice in this photo, if you haven't already noticed, check out the computer chair I'm using. Let me zoom in here. It's a freaking lawn chair. Using a lawn chair for a computer chair. And I have the printer in front of me like it's a typewriter or something, but the monitor is off to the right. And I think, if memory serves, why I did that was because, learning how to touch type and not looking at the keyboard, I would turn my head to the right and look at the screen. You can also see bunk beds there because my younger brother and I, we shared a bedroom back then. And speaking of my younger brother, I got a picture of he and I right here when we were kids. Him sitting on my lap and playing games on the Commodore 64. And down in the lower right, get close there, you can see Tandy branded floppy disks. Those were what I could find back then. Tandy and 3M were the discs that I used a lot. So yeah, there are some pictures from my childhood with this machine. So now let me pause this here for a moment and we'll open up the box and show you my original machine. I've gone ahead and opened up the box. And the first thing you see is the original Commodore's User's Guide that came with my machine. And when I boxed this up a while ago, I put everything back in its original baggies if I had kept them, and for the most part I did. But here is that. You can see it's got lots of wear and folds and bends, because back in the day, I used this thing religiously. What's so cool with this book user's guide, that it covers all kinds of stuff. Of setting up the computer, of course, getting started, beginning basic programming, advanced basic programming, advanced color and graphics, sprite graphics, creating sound, advanced data handling, and so much more. You know, and back then, I mean, it was just awesome that manuals like this gave you code. I mean, look at that. There's basic code right there. You could learn how to program and do things out of the box, as they say. So that's pretty cool, you know, to have that back then, but to even now, I've had to actually use this because I forgot how to do some things because, you know, out of sight, out of mind. But yeah, so user's guide. I also have a programmer's reference guide. This did not come with the machine, but this was something that I picked up or a family member got for me, I don't remember. But this came from Toys R Us. And how I know that is in the back, when I was packing everything up, there was a price tag in here that had come off the glue, but here's the price tag. You can see Toys R Us, $17.97 US. And on the back of the programmer's reference guide, it actually says $19.95. So I guess Toys R Us, you know, he got a discount or something from Toys R Us. Something cool about this manual back then and even now, more advanced programming knowledge, but in the back, Commodore gave you a full schematic of the machine that you could open up and learn about all the circuits and stuff. I'm not going to fully open it up now. It won't fit on camera, but you know, back in the 80s, computer companies were cool with you working on your stuff and they wanted you to know how to do it. So they provided that in this programmer's reference guide. Pretty cool. Next up, I'm going to pull the machine out of the box because it's held in with these foam pieces, and that's also in a plastic bag. We'll be right back. Here is my childhood Commodore 64, still in the bag to keep it dust free while it's packed away. And go ahead and pull this out of the bag here. So here is my childhood machine, still in really good condition because I took care of my stuff then as I do now. Plus these things were expensive, you know, back then we took care of our stuff. You'll notice I got a JiffyDOS little overlay on here to tell you what the function keys do. This is not glued on, it's just sitting on there. And that takes me to the side of the machine here. I've got a JiffyDOS switch and a reset button. This label is not original. I did that in the last few years. But as you can see, there's an arrow pointing this way. That's JiffyDOS on, JiffyDOS off. I'll show you the back here. We've got the cartridge port, channel select for channel 3 or 4 because we're in the US, RF video out, color composite out, well, Chroma Luma, which is basically as video, serial port for disk drive or printer, tape port, data set, user port for modems and things like that, other accessories. Off to the side here, we got controller port 1, controller port 2, power on and off, power port plug, and we'll go ahead and flip the machine over. This little card's going to fall off, but show you the bottom there. There's the serial number sticker, P5129339B as in boy. And again, this is my childhood machine, so the serial number on the machine also matches the box. And I'll show you that in a minute. But also in this box here is this little mini box. And in here, I've got the original RF cable. Is that in the shot? Yeah, there's the original RF cable, which I never used. I used some other cable, I think. Oh, no, I used it. It's just I just packed it all back up nice. Also in here is a disk drive cable, serial cable. I do still have my original VIC 1541. It's boxed up and in the garage. I'll show that at a later date. I have got the original RF switch that you would hook up to a TV, computer TV. And it's probably hard to see. I don't know if it'll show up, but Right here it actually says Commodore stamped in the metal. I don't know if that's showing up. So I still have that. And then, last but not least in here is the power supply. The original brick that will kill a machine now in present day. And I've got it back and bagged up. I bagged everything up all nice because, again, to store it. We'll have to do a video on why not to use these. But anyone watching this video probably already knows why not to use a Commodore 64 brick. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause this and get all this put back in the box, and then I'll show you the serial number on the side. Here's a quick up-close shot of the serial number on the box. P5129339, B as in boy. So you can see that everything is still all matchy-matchy on my complete in-box Commodore 64. So there you go, a quick down and dirty video showing my childhood Commodore 64 computer and pictures of me when I got it in Christmas 1983, as well as pictures of my little brother sitting on my lap playing games. At this time, I would like to thank my Patreon supporters, patreon.com/geekwithsocialskills. Links in the description. Thank you for watching my video. I apologize in advance or at the end of the video for kind of rambling, but like I said, this was just kind of a quick off-the-cuff video I've been wanting to do for a while. If you would like to know more about my childhood 64 or see future videos with my 64 hooked up to my original 1541 disk drive, monitor, things like that, let me know in the comments. If you like it, thumbs up. If you don't like it, click the thumbs down twice. Again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll catch you in the next video.